After gathering new point-to-point speed records in a flight out from England, an R.A.F. Delta Wing Vulcan bomber circled over Wellington en route to OHAKEA whilst on a combined goodwill and test mission. Standard fitting on the Vulcan is the tail parachute, which is normally used as a brake on short runways and to prevent skidding on icy surfaces. The Vulcan is powered by 4 Olympus turbojets, giving it over 10 times more power than the heavy bombers of World War II. Passing a lineup of jet fighters, the Vulcan reveals its terrific bulk. Looking like a child's pedal car, a Vampire is completely dwarfed by the 97-foot length and 99-foot wingspan. Tankers cluster around the huge craft to pump in great quantities of fuel, which give the bomber an extremely long operational range. New Zealanders who flocked to see the plane were later to be shocked at the news that the Vulcan had crashed at London Airport in bad weather at the end of her return flight, killing 4 of the crew. One of the 2 survivors of the crash was the pilot, Squadron leader Donald Howard. Chief of Bomber Command, Sir Harry Broadhurst, in the centre, was the only other survivor. The Vulcan takes off from OHAKEA. On its first appearance at Farnborough Air Show 3 years ago, it displayed remarkable manoeuvrability by performing a slow roll. During a 5-day visit to New Zealand, the bomber flew over 15 cities and hundreds of towns and settlements. And now snow-clad Taranaki looms beyond the Vulcan as it leaves on the first leg of its tragic return flight.
At Apia General Hospital, Western Samoa, last-minute preparations are made to receive patients from a polio outbreak in the outlying Tokelau Islands. A special polio ward has been added to the hospital in record time. Called on to airlift victims back to Apia, the RNZAF sends a Sunderland flying boat the 200 miles from Samoa to the Tokelau's, which are New Zealand's northernmost dependencies. Aboard is specialist help sent directly from New Zealand. Miss Mary Wilson, in the middle, a physiotherapist from Wellington Hospital, is to take the polio sufferers under her care. Soon the coral-strewn approaches to the islands are slipping away below. The people of the Tokelau's are glad to see the visitors who've flown to their aid. Greetings come from chiefs and women's committees. At the small island hospitals, the patients have up to now been in the care of Samoan medical practitioners who do a fine job in these remote islands. Miss Wilson conducts an examination. Polio has affected his legs, but not his smile for the nurse who will help him in the months ahead. Smiles and tears mingle as patients are farewelled by families and girlfriends before being canoed out to the Sunderland. Five patients are flown to the Satupuala flying base, 30 miles from Apia. Soon they're being taken through the gates of Apia Hospital, where they'll spend the next 6 months receiving specialist treatment. So ends a swift and successful combined operation of the RNZAF and Samoan and New Zealand Health Services, a mission of mercy to the people of far islands of the South Pacific.
Kuala Lumpur, the officer commanding the Special Air Service New Zealand Squadron, Major Frank Rennie, briefs Corporal Huia Woods for a forthcoming jungle patrol. The briefing is passed on to the men of the patrol, including Trooper Clive Natai of Rotorua, one South Island representative in the person of Bill Gray of Christchurch, and Desmond Brady of Lower Hutt. Corporal Woods, by the way, is from Whakatane. Only bare essentials are packed on patrol: sleeping bag, change of clothing, toilet gear, food for 7 days, and in the hand, equipment to speak the only kind of language that can answer terrorism. As Malaya progresses towards self-government, the flags of Britain, the Federation of Malaya and the state of Selangor fly in the federal capital. Past Kuala Lumpur railway station goes the New Zealand patrol on their way to a spot of jungle bashing. They're going in to search for terrorist hideouts. Point man on patrol is not a New Zealander, but an Iban tracker from Borneo, on the lookout for signs saying Chin Peng's men were here. They move silently, with no badges of rank or insignia, days on end, ever on guard, trying to be as invisible as possible, to see before they're seen and shoot before they're shot at. After 7 days, a halt is made at a suitable clearing and the patrol's distinctive marker put out for sighting by supply aircraft. When Corporal Woods hears the plane, he puts up some publicity for his chosen dropping zone. Satisfied the markers are genuine, the plane comes in. The corporal distributes mail, while Trooper Battleton of Otrahonga sees what's in the food packs. While Trooper Dave Wallace of Auckland scans the home paper for a subject to write home about, Palmerston Northman Trooper Slade opens up something to swear about. Apart from little items like this, regular mail and supplies of prepared food do a lot to keep jungle bashers happy. These men, protecting the orderly development of Malaya, are learning to be as wary in the jungle as their highly skilled point man, the Iban tracker from Borneo.